I'm known for feigning excitement, so I can't actually make those claims.
But you could claim that, like, you're really feigning, like you're putting all your effort into it this time. No, just
I'm
kidding.
also known for being completely sarcastic and no one being able to tell.
Diggity sometimes feigning things, so he's actually legitimate, but he tries to act like he's not. Never mind. So, why don't you give us a quick update, since it's probably a good thing to do anyways, and also I have no idea the context, because I heard about this tournament about 10 minutes ago.
Sounds good. Well, that's a good question. So we are watching, this is the SC Reddit Open number 6. So StarCraft subreddit at reddit.com hosts a weekly tournament, which is an open tournament for anybody, and they sign up and they go through brackets, and typically it's a mix of high-end diamond-y kind of gold players and that sort of thing, and the diamond players usually filter out to the end. So what we are now is we have already watched the first half of the semifinals, and this is the second half of the semifinals between Navi, who is the blue Zerg player in the upper right, and we've got Zukarakox, who is the red Protoss in the lower left, and right now it's an ace match, so they are tied 2-2 in a best-of-5. Navi's played a bunch of stuff. Zukarakox has come out with a whole bunch of different strats, and so it was 2-up for Navi, and then Zukara won 2 in a row. So this is...
Gotta say, I really like the name Zukarakox. That's just the best name I've heard in StarCraft thus far, I think.
Yeah, I was really hoping I could pronounce it in some way that I didn't say Cox over and over again, but it turns out that's how you pronounce it, so...
Oh well, you gotta roll with it sometime. Really fast, when I'm thinking about it, I wanted to do this last week. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to happen because I was getting... What was happening? Was I out of town last week? I actually wanted to do it the week I got married too, but it was like, getting married, I can't take that off for StarCraft 2 tournaments and whatnot. But also, while I'm thinking about it, to all the Reddit people, submit replays you want to see casted to the /r/SC2 replays, and vote the ones up you want to see up, because those will be the ones that hopefully Moletrap, I've told him about it. I'll try to get day 9 on it. He's at WCG currently, though. But let me talk about the game itself. Looks like Zukarakox is just going to patrol around the corner there inside Navi's base. He's got good information. He's seeing the spawning pool. Looks like early Zerglings here, and it looks like you're just seeing a full front to... wow. 2 gateways. I don't think that's actually a full seal. I still think you can peek the Zerglings around the top. I guess we'll see in a minute here. But 2 gate opening here from Zook. And this... I like this style. You force your Zerg opponent essentially to do something, to commit to something, and then you adjust. Then you force them to make a commitment, and then you just figure out what they're doing, and then just press into that. And I really like this aggressive style of Protoss play where you're just depicting how things are going.
Yeah, I'm a little bit wondering what he's going to follow up with, Zukarakox there, with the 2 gateways. He's just now getting his core down a little bit later. It looks like he's going to start off building Zealots and put some pressure on. And we do see a Ro4 in the back here. Zukarakox is all over it. He knows it's there. And that's going to be pretty... If he can get some roaches out pretty quick, he'll be pretty effective at dealing with the Zealots that are going to be coming out. So that's why I'm kind of wondering... It looks like they both know what each other's doing right now. And so they're both going to be able to keep track of each other's movements. So that's why I'm more looking towards what the next movement is. And, oh! Gas steal! Extractor going down. Very nicely done. Going to slow down his tech a lot right when he needs to get his second gas going as his core's coming up.
This so far is classic Navi. Every game we've seen so far, Navi has a little early extractor, gone right into roaches, and even has stolen a gas almost every single game. And typically when it's Zealots against roaches, she's just been able to clean house. So this is all pretty standard to what she's done so far. So chances are good that she's in a good advantage here.
Nice little battle here at the natural expansion. Looks like there was a pylon placed and then canceled to make sure that hatchery wasn't going to go up. It looks like instead a couple more units invested elsewhere for Navi rather than that hatchery. Now planning that hatchery here. But I feel like Zook basically accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. He is going to be a little bit slowed on tech, but he went in, he forced the roach tech, and he's now in a position where he can adjust to that. He knows what he needs to do. He's just going to be a little slower in doing it because he needs to take that extractor down.
Yeah, he's got a couple Zealots going to work now, and you're right, he does have a little gap there, and that's really good. He's got the Zealot in the gap, so that Zealot can sit there and take tons of hits. But it also means that he can get his forces out when he needs to as well, so it's going to be handy for whichever way he wants to go. Zukarakox had a pylon down blocking a hatchery. That's been taken out, so both players kind of delaying each other a little bit with the Manor Extractor and the Manor Pylon, and still only at 1 gas, so... It looks like he's not planning on teching. He's going to mass roaches for at least a little bit is what I'm thinking here, and just go for a kind of a big attack. And it looks like on the other side we do have him moving out. I think he might be trying to set up. Let's see where this probe goes. He might try and push out a little bit and control his expansion. He's got almost 400 minerals, although it looks like maybe he's not going to set up an expansion after all.
Yeah, so far Navi, she's been really good about maintaining a lot of pressure with roaches early on, but my biggest criticism, and she does this every now and then, is she skips completely the metabolic boost, and that's something I really want to see with your typical 5 roach push kind of attack where you back it up with a lot of speedlings or whatever. She often doesn't have the speedlings and suffers from it later on if she's trying for some last minute defense or anything like that. So I always question that move, but we see her moving up on the tech tree finally, hopefully getting some more gas and spine crawlers, and we'll see where that's going to go from here.
Playing very, very safe, putting 2 spine crawlers there at the natural expansion. In the meantime, we've seen Zook actually push up the 4 gateways to get a much larger army before he decides to take an expansion. I think that's very, very safe and very, very intelligent. A lot of players, when they've gone from StarCraft to StarCraft 2, what they've done is they haven't had the unit composition to go out and actually hold their natural expansion, and then at the same time they haven't actually gone up and put counter pressure to basically force anything on the opposite end where they wouldn't be just running up and taking your expansion out. So it's nice to see Zook doing that. Looks like he is going to do that right now, go up, take those destructible rocks out, which is going to make those spine crawlers even less effective here on the front door. It looks like a 3rd one being placed, but Navi, Overlord up there, but not reacting.
And Navi just now getting some speed upgrade for the roaches, by the way. And look at this, crawling the spine crawler, slowly crawling back towards the creep so they can defend. Are they going to be able to get there before the destructible rocks go down? The rocks are down to 700 hit points, 600 and falling. Navi trying to put out tons of roaches here. All of her eggs are soon to hatch with units, and the spine crawlers are going down. It looks like she may just barely get this defense set up in time. The spine crawlers are almost in. The queen is there. The roaches and the lings pop. Perfect. Everything coming out just at the right moment to defend the main here. I'm curious if Zukarakox is going to now go around back to the front and utilize this, or it looks like he's just going to keep pushing around in the back and just try and harass the drones. Here come the roaches and the Zerglings. Force field's going down, doing a little bit of trouble to the AI of those roaches. They are going to back off though and just engage the zealots. So the stalkers just doing their own thing, killing off drones while the roaches engage the zealots. It looks like he might take out the zealots, but the stalkers have killed off tons of drones and forced the rest to run to the expansion. This is not looking good at all for Navi.
Yeah, just really unfortunate timing with that. And this is, again, one of those times where, I want to see a million lings come flying out of nowhere and take care of it all. But I think that backdoor, she just didn't have enough time to react with getting the spine crawlers up there. And just that 4-gate timing push was all it took to just go through there and trample that economy.
That was extremely ballsy by Zukarakox. Essentially, if he did not win that fight right there, and granted that he had a sizable army advantage, but if that spine crawler is in a little bit different position, or if drones have been pulled off the line to assist in that attack, he would have ended up losing his entire army. He would have been highly exposed to counterattack. But in the meantime, it looks like he's managed to basically completely run over Navi. He's got both bases breached right here. Main is breached. Natural expansion is currently being harassed. Navi is pinned back. Can't defend both locations at once. It looks like she's going to end up losing that layer. It's going to set her way back, and I honestly think Zook has the game at stage.
Yep, it looks like Zook is going to take care of it for it. This is going to be game 3 for him, and I can't think of any way that she's going to be able to defend this at this point.
Yeah, I guess it made sense for her to fall back and try and defend that natural expansion, get up some defenses there, and try and fend off the second wave. But with the expansion, well, I was going to say with the expansion up, but Zukarakox in all his battle has forgotten to actually send probes